morning, everybody. So I don't really know how to start this video. This is very different than any other video that I've made before because I've only ever made hair and makeup videos. So I feel pretty nervous and a little bit awkward, and I hope that the more that I film, the more comfortable I'll get. But this is why I wanted to make this video. So for those of you who don't know, I've posted about it a few times now. I'm going to be a gestational surrogate. What that means is I am of no biological relation to this baby that I'll be carrying. I am basically just going to carry a baby for a family. And gestational means that it is not my egg. It means that it is someone else's. So again, not biologically related to me in any way. Traditional surrogacy is when you are using your own egg as well as carrying. I'm working through an agency. There are two ways that you can be a surrogate: through an agency or independent. Some people call it indie. I did a lot of research. I want to say it's been close to a year that I have been researching, reaching out to people who I know have done surrogacy or been involved in any way. I've been talking to different companies. So that was like the very beginning, and it's been almost a year. I chose to work with an agency because from what I understand, especially for a first-time surrogate, when you do independent, nobody is telling you it's gonna take this long. So in your family planning, plan out 5 years until you can have another baby if that's what ends up happening or if that's your goal. There's no one to be an advocate for you. There's no one really looking out for you, your best interest, your safety. No middleman to help just communication flow easy. From what I understand, independent is a really great option for, like, if I wanted to do this for my sister or a really close family member who I trust and we trust each other and there's not going to be any foul play happening. That's when independent would be a good option. But I'm not a surrogate for a specific family. What I mean by that is I didn't have a specific family in mind to be a surrogate for. I just knew that I wanted to be a surrogate, so I went to an agency and then I was matched with a family. So a lot of people are asking why. Why do I want to be a surrogate? Why am I doing this? So a little bit of a backstory. I'm Bree. I'm 24. I have been married for 2.5 years. My husband's name is Austin. He's 23. I'm a hairstylist and makeup artist. This is like such an awkward video for me to make. I don't even know. So my husband and I have a 1-year-old son named Aiden. When we got married, we were under the impression that we may never have kids in a traditional way. I had never had any testing done, but someone close in my family has a chronic illness. It is a form of dysautonomia called POTS. It basically affects her connective tissue, her heart, the way her body regulates itself, and it is chronic. There's treatment, but there's no cure. And some POTS patients can have a pretty normal pregnancy and delivery and have little to no complications. It just depends on how severe your POTS is, and everybody is different. On the more extreme side, you will miscarry every single time. So pregnancy can be pretty difficult, and you can do things like sew your cervix shut to try and help prevent a miscarriage. But pregnancy can be very difficult for someone with POTS. Not just the ability to carry, but the ability to get pregnant in general. Some POTS patients will experience trouble with their ovaries. Sometimes they're full of cysts and it's hard to have healthy eggs. Sometimes they have problems with their uterus calcifying, being full of fibroids, and so then it's hard to even get pregnant, not even talking about your connective tissue not doing what it's supposed to be doing, and you miscarry. So I had never been tested, but we knew that me carrying or me having a biological child was possibly not going to happen for us. And we were both at peace with that. We knew that there are other ways to have kids, whether that was an egg donor and a surrogate, or if that was adoption, or whatever it was going to be for us, we knew that we had options. And we were at peace with that. We got married in January of 2017, and in August of 2017, I went to the specialist and I got my testing done. It's actually a physical exam, it's not blood work, and I do not have POTS. I was cleared to have a normal, healthy pregnancy with no help. I could just get pregnant and be pregnant, which was an insane. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. This video is more emotional than I thought it was going to be. Anyway, we started trying September of 2017. We got pregnant in November. And now we have a healthy 1-year-old baby boy. So pretty much from the very beginning, when I knew that I could have a healthy pregnancy, and then especially as I went through my pregnancy and it was relatively easy, I felt very lucky. My delivery was good. I had no complications. I just felt like in my heart, I knew that I wanted to help another family be able to have babies if that's what they want to do. I want to help them grow their family. So my husband Austin has been on board the entire time. He is pretty much on the same page, not pretty much, he's on the same page with our backstory and our history, kind of motivating us to move forward with surrogacy. So at the end of the day, I chose Northwest Surrogacy Center to be my surrogacy agency. The one that I'm working with, they're based out of San Francisco, California. They have other locations in Oregon, Denver, Washington, but San Francisco was the closest to me. So where I am in the process right now is I am actually just about to start IVF. Today is Friday and I start on Monday, so just a few days away. I already have all of my medications. I have my calendar, so I start on Monday. The whole process is like officially moving forward. So a little bit about the process is I went to San Francisco. My coordinator's name was Mariah. She sat down with us in person. It was actually myself and Aiden, my son, because Austin couldn't make it. He was working. And she goes over everything, the process from start to finish, health insurance, because not every health insurance company is surrogacy friendly, which mine is not. So she talked about the intended parents is what they call them, which is just the family that I would be a surrogate for, purchasing an outside health insurance policy for me that is surrogacy friendly just for the pregnancy and delivery. She talked about what I want in intended parents. Do I want people who are involved? Do I want to be involved after pregnancy and delivery? What do I want my involvement to look like? The hard topics, we always have to talk about termination. What if this? What if that? We talked about everything. And so basically she creates a profile for me, and she went in and she hand matches everybody. There's no database that automatically matches you. She hand matches everybody. So the intended parents profile is already made and out there. I don't have like a book that I flip through and choose, oh, I think they're going to be good for me. No, Mariah does everything. That's what the coordinator does. It's her job to do that. And so at no point do the intended parents know that a potential surrogate is looking at their profile, so that there's no pressure on either end. So she sent me this profile for this family, and I knew they were the ones. I told Austin, I know that they still have to pick me and we still have to do a match meeting. There's still a lot of the process to go, but they're the ones. I'm telling you, they're the ones. So they sent my profile to them. They liked me. We had what's called a match meeting, and this family is international. So normally we like to do a face-to-face sit-down meeting, but because they are international, we did basically like a FaceTime call. We decided that we all wanted to work together. So moving forward, we had to get lawyers, and the Northwest Surrogacy Center helps facilitate all of that. They sent the recommendation. My lawyer is different than my intended parents' lawyer. We sit down and we do contracts. We go back and forth a little bit. At the end of the day, everything was good. I was really nervous about that side of things, but it all went very smoothly. I had to do a separate screening because at the very beginning you have to go through a screening with the actual agency, but the agency and the fertility clinic are separate. Northwest does prefer to work with ORM. In Oregon, ORM is Oregon Reproductive Medicine. They are the fertility clinic that my intended parents chose to work with. I don't know if that was out of Northwest's recommendation or what it was, but that's who they're working with. Northwest does work with any fertility clinic on the West Coast. So San Diego all the way up to Washington, they'll work with anyone that the intended parents chose, but they do prefer to work with ORM, and that's who I'm working with. So at the beginning of July, I went and I had to do a screening with them. I had to do basically a practice transfer, and everything went really well. They taught me how to do the IVF medications, and now I'm starting IVF on Monday. My transfer day is set for September 24th, and I do have a few testing that I have to get done between now and then to make sure that the hormones are working, that my uterine lining is thickening, and all of that good stuff. So if the hormones weren't where they needed to be, like in my body doing what they were supposed to be doing, then that date would get pushed out. But for now, September 24th is the day. So the reason that I wanted to make this video is because I've actually had a pretty difficult time finding resources for, I don't know why this is so emotional. I thought I was just gonna sit down and talk to you guys, but this is kind of scary. Like, people don't talk about surrogacy. They just don't. I do see some surrogate accounts on Instagram, but I went to Barnes & Noble. They didn't carry any books about surrogacy for a surrogate. They didn't carry any at all, not in the store, like to order. There's nothing. There's not, the blogs that I find are more about IVF or infertility struggles, which I still read and Same with a YouTube channel. I follow one that's a couple has infertility problems and they do IVF and that's going on. So that is still helpful for me to see, but it's not a gestational surrogate going through the process and offering up suggestions or just sharing their experience. And that's been kind of difficult because in this day and age, everything is online. Everything's on social media. And if you want to know something, you just Google it or you YouTube it. And you have so many different resources available to you, so much information from so many different kinds of people. So you can see a pretty unbiased answer to whatever questions you have. And there's going to be so many different experiences out there. And I just can't find that. I cannot find it anywhere. I can't find it. So here we are. I just want surrogacy to be something that's more comfortable to talk about. I want it to be a comfortable dialogue, whether that's between me and you, whether that's between other surrogates, whether that's between, like, I don't know how I'm going to react in like the situation. So when I was pregnant with Aiden, and I was like big pregnant, like obviously pregnant, people would congratulate me and ask when I'm due and talk to me about like, are you ready to be a mom and all this stuff. And so I'm kind of assuming that's going to happen again when I'm pregnant with the surrogate baby. And I don't know what I'm going to say. I have no idea because I haven't been able to talk with anybody about like, okay, so when this happened to you, what was your experience? Like, how did you react? What was that conversation like for you? Were they receptive? Were they open? Were they like pretty closed off? I don't want people to tell me like, oh, why are you trying to play God? Why don't they just adopt? Why don't they do this, that? Why are you getting involved in their family planning? I don't want to have those conversations, but at the same time I do, because I just wish people were more open and more receptive and more willing to step outside of their comfort zone and realize that just because this one thing might be right for you and your family, it doesn't mean that that's right for someone else's family. Everyone is so different, and the spectrum of family planning is so wide now. It's really amazing what science and medicine has been able to do for everybody and their family planning and making the impossible possible. So, this was kind of a weird video. I feel good that I sat down and I was able to start a conversation about it. And I don't have my microphone, I don't have my tripod, I don't have my light, I have nothing. I'm literally sitting down on my couch. I didn't even plan to do this morning. It just happened to work out. So I would love to hear from everybody about your questions. Please ask questions, and I'll kind of collect some questions, and I'll sit down and I'll make another video, and I'd love to address anything and everything that you guys want to know. I am an open book. I'm not trying to hide my feelings in any way, shape, or form. I want to have an honest conversation with you guys. So let me know if you liked this video, if it was helpful for you in any way, and what else you would like to know, because I'd love to share. So that's it for today. And yeah, okay. Have a good weekend. Bye.